Hey guys, welcome to Ep.5 here with some more Maniac reviews, and today for Maniac reviews I'm going to be doing a special Jurassic Park Trilogy. Alright, so Jurassic Park Trilogy, I'm going to start off with 1, go to 2, go to 3 to finish it off. So 1 is my second favorite. My first is actually 3, which I'll get on to why that is. So the first one is it was awesome, alright? It's a classic, alright? Everybody knows it as a classic. It's basically like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Star Trek. It's like those things. There's a lot of stuff. Like I have some lines because I've watched the movies so many times, just engraved in my skull. Like the one thing, I'll be like, somebody will say he left us or something, or they left us, and then what I'll always hear is that one girl screaming when the guy goes into the washroom, running away from the T-Rex, thinking, "My hand perfect planning, yeah." And she goes, he left us, he left us. That is like forever engraved in my head. I will never forget that. I don't know why. It's just forever engraved in my head. Oh, I'm not gonna rip you off, shirt. But it is like there's some, and then like from 2, I think I have some lines that I remember. But the cast of characters for it are very good. You have not the black guy, who I know he's in like director Nick Fury and everything. Him. Some of these I only know Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, because in all the movies, those 2 have been always my favorite ones. Throughout the span of all of the other 2 sequels, they've been my 2 favorite. But this movie, I honestly think, was the first really good one to use CGI. Was the first movie to really well use CGI, in my opinion, with the raptors. The one problem that I always have had with the Jurassic Park films is the raptors. Now, I did actually, a while ago, I did kind of search it up, like why are the raptors so big? If they're calling them velociraptors, they're more the size of Utah raptors. The reason why is because right when they were filming this, Utah raptor was discovered, which led them to believe that maybe the velociraptors that they had found were actually just a smaller version, and Utah was the actual full version, and all raptors were like that. That proved to not be the case, and that the velociraptors that they had found were the actual adults. So, and of course, clever gal. Always remember that. But it's a classic film. I know nobody's really liked the sequels, but I'm a big fan of the trilogy. It's kind of the same thing for me with Star Wars. My second favorite film in the Star Wars trilogy is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. For a couple of reasons, but that's for another thing. But I honestly think Steven Spielberg's best thing. I know that they're working on 4, so I'll go on to 2. The storyline is basically, it's an old movie. This was like the 1980s, so too bad if you haven't seen it. If you haven't, you suck. Go out and buy it right now. Go watch it on YouTube. I don't care. See it now, alright? Or else a demon baby spawn is going to sprout out of your eyeballs and you're going to start licking your kneecaps. Basically the storyline is John Hammond has made a theme park that is all dinosaurs. He has brought along some scientists to view the theme park before opening. Upon this, Nedry, what's his first name? I'll just call him Nedry. I can't remember his first name. It's something Nedry. It'll probably come to me later. is actually a corporate spy working against Jurassic Park company, running all this, or InGen, and is stealing the embryos. Now, this is actually, some people thought that this was a very small role that Nedry played, but I think it is probably the biggest that any of this, because if he wasn't ever a corporate spy, none of this would have ever happened. The park would have stayed the same, none of the fences would have gone out, because when he tries to escape to get to the boat as quick as he can, he is killed by a Dilophosaurus because he hits the sign and everything, but he has to shut off the power so he can go through the fences to not get himself electrocuted. In that time, the whole park just goes to hell. You get T-Rexes breaking out, you get the Raptors breaking out, you get everything coming out, and just boom. So he gets killed by Dilophosaurus, and from then they have to kind of survive to get to this helicopter. The ending of that film will always be memorable for me, when the Raptors are about to kill the group, and in comes the T-Rex and just kills the Raptor. I always have been confused about how it ever got in there. That will always confuse me. I'll probably never know why or how that all happened, but all I know is it did. So yeah, it ends off with them, going on a helicopter, leaving the island. Jurassic Park the game kind of is in between 1 and 2, but now I'm gonna get to 2. So 2 is basically, the storyline of that is, there's a Site B. On that Site B, InGen is kind of taken over Jurassic Park and John Hammond's operation. So InGen has now, John Hammond has now sent in Jeff Goldblum, the guy from the first film, to kind of go in and deal with it from there, along with Sarah Harding and 2 other guys. One of them gets ripped in half by 2 T-Rexes, which was, love that. That was also a very memorable thing. But upon getting there, Jeff Goldblum's daughter, who's for some reason black, also never got that either. But not to be racist or anything, I'm just wondering, considering that he's kind of a bad actor, but considering the race that he is, how did he have a black child? Somebody want to explain this to me? And that basically they're trapped on this island, they need to get off. The ending, I loved when they were on the island. When they go back to, I believe it was New York or somewhere on the west or east coast, somewhere on a coast of some sort in the U.S., they bring back T-Rex for an amusement park that they've been building in the States. And that T-Rex basically goes loose, and they have to track it down, take it back, and it's not my favorite. Some of the parts on the island are very memorable. I don't really like the role that the Raptors played. I wish that they had had a bigger role. But now let's get on to 3, my favorite of them all. So we have Sam Neill, then we have the other guys. Can't even remember their names, but I know that there's the mother and father and the son, and the reason now for this one is that uncle and his nephew, aka the son, they've gone out parachuting, but their boat has been lost by what I believe at least to be a Spinosaurus. So they're out stranded. They have to go into Site B, aka where dinosaurs roam free, no fences, no nothing. And they have to go in and they get stranded. So basically there's a rescue mission to go get them because the U.S. Embassy and all them, they won't support that because it's dinosaurs and you can't really kill it. So they land when Sam Neill's like, no, don't do it, you're going to get yourselves killed, listen to me. Then there's the other guy who gets eaten by pteranodons, which is also a lot of the stuff is very memorable. Like, I have a lot of that stuff just like, get in their brain kind of thing, because I've watched the movie so many times. But there's, it's just very odd how they kind of perceived it, and I really think what I really liked about this is the CGI was great. Dinosaurs looked great. The textures. I love the dinosaurs that they had. They had the little ceratosaur kind of in there just as like a gif kind of thing. Just like, hey there guys, I'm here. They had the Spinosaur, which I love Spinosaurs. They're the biggest known land mammal that is a predator. And then there is the raptors. Now the raptors, although I wish they would have been smaller, they did play a gigantic role in this, and they were just awesome. The way that they perceived the raptors, the way that they did the raptors, the mechanics, everything. Steven Spielberg did great with all of these movies. So honestly, I have to say, when it comes to anything, now I know you guys might find this as a crappy review or something, some of you haters out there, but I'm sorry, I can't, like, these movies have really left me speechless. I have been a fan of them ever since I can remember. I've always loved them. I've always watched them. I remember when I was a little bit younger and I'd watched 3 was the first one I ever saw actually. I always remember the skeleton coming down and as that jump scare and I remember when I was little I screamed and I literally ran upstairs from my living room. I ran upstairs into my room and I huddled in a little ball because it scared the crap out of me when I was little. So, but yeah, that's really it. So I have to say I'm gonna give this trilogy a 5 out of 5 because this is a childhood thing for me. Honestly, I had 2 was like a bump, like a big bump. Like the beginning was good and everything, the end just ruined the whole film in my opinion. But that really didn't stop them from keeping the series going, and I know that 4 is coming out in 2014, and I really hope Maniac reviews it will hopefully still be going then, and I will be doing a review of that for sure. I don't even care if I have school that day, like if I'm in college and everything, and it's like, oh yeah, did you hear Jurassic Park 4 is coming out? I don't care if I have the final test. If I have a final test, and it's like I'm gonna skip school no matter what the circumstances is, just so I can see this movie. It is that big of a deal to me. I would skip going on a date for this. Like, I know that kind of makes me sound like a loner, but this is a big thing for me. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching me blabber on and on and on about my childhood. Don't forget to subscribe, favorite, like, and all that fun stuff. I'll see you guys next time, or whatever I'll make. Head is gonna drag on. Hi, sad. Beep.